What's going on, Hangout gang? Sunday, and it's time for the Sunday night Hangout. So, got a good show for you guys today. We're going to talk XRP. We're going to talk some other things, and we're going to pretty much get into some coins, look at some coins, and we're going to go from there. All right. But the big news is XRP. You know, Judge Torres ruled what he ruled, and therefore he has been, she has, ignited the crypto space, and it pretty much ignited altcoins and XRP. You saw a significant price jump in XRP. You saw a lot of FOMO coming into XRP and altcoins in general, and a lot of excitement and euphoria around it. Just a little miniature bull run. You had some pullback and everything, but you had a little miniature bull run due to the excitement and everything that was going on with XRP. Okay, so before we get started, as always, we're gonna have to plug the podcast. You have the Metaspot podcast. It's available on Apple, iTunes. It's available on Amazon. It's available on Pandora, Spotify, pretty much anywhere where your local podcast can be obtained. Okay, so check out the Metaspot podcast. They talk NFTs, we talk metaverse, and etc. All right, and don't forget about the Sunday Night Hangout. As always, it's on Spotify as well. And for those Spotify listeners, if you can't catch us on YouTube on live, you can always catch the replay back on Spotify as well under the Sunday Night Hangout. All right, and for those that are interested in the NFT Alpha, we have the Patreon that you can join, where we teach you how to earn passive income off your NFTs and which NFTs to buy, how to research NFTs, etc. So if you're interested in joining that, you can join for a minimum of $20. We have a $20 tier is the base tier. Then you have a $100 and $200 tier that includes a phone call and portfolio guidance. So if you're interested in that, you can click on the link below that's in the description box. Okay, you can join the Alpha group for that. All right, so now let's get into the crypto bubbles. As you can see, lots of green in the market today. You have just a little bit of red, not a lot of red, very little red actually, but lots and lots of green. You have Engine up, ING up 0.9, BSV up 3.7, FTM up 0.1.4, SNX up 0.7, Chainlink up 0.8. You have GMX up 0.4, ICP up 0.4, Luna C up 0.13. Luna C is going to surprise a lot of people. Those that are in the know, if you know, you know. If you're part of our trading group, then you are absolutely in the know when it comes to Luna C and Terra Luna Classic. Render up 0.9, Doge up 0.3, Sand up 0.7, Uni up 0.4, File 0.5, FXS 0.6, Curve 0.6, Tezos 0.5, Bitcoin Cash up 0.2, Aave 0.7, BNB 0.9, Zcash up 1.4, Shiba Inu up 0.6, Theta up 0.3. You have BIT up 0.4, VeChain up 0.8, Zilliqa up 0.4, Near Protocol 0.7, Algorand 0.8, ADA 0.9, XLM 0.5, which actually runs with XRP because they go hand in hand. So if you don't have any XRP, but you have XLM, you need to get XRP. If you have XRP and XLM, you need to get both. Okay, just a little alpha for you. Gala 0.6, Leo up 0.1.2, Hex a whopping 2%, Bitcoin Cash 1.2. EOS 0.7, XRP up 1%, Clay 0.7, and 1 inch up a whopping 4.9%, Arbitrum up 1.4, Hbar up 1%, QNT 0.2, Litecoin up 1.1. All right, and as you can see, it reflects the same thing on the crypto coin market cap. As you can see, normally we do the top 50, but we won't go into all the top 50. We covered quite a bit so far. All right, so before we get into the charts, I wanted to share with you guys, go over some of the news first, because normally we get into the charts first. But first we're going to get into some of this news, and then we'll get into some of the charts, because I know you guys are here really for the charts. You wanted to see what's going on with that and what coins, because we do have some coins here on our list that we want you to be on the lookout for, and that we want you to monitor over the next couple of weeks, because as Bitcoin runs, these coins will run along with it. All right. So here we go. Let's get into some of this news. We have here Ripple. The decision is troublesome on multiple fronts, says former SEC official. And I agree. SEC is in a corner. They're backed in a corner. and they are taking hits on all fronts. And Gary Gensler has been exposed, and he is getting exposed even more so with every case that he has brought forth. Okay. Now, according to John Reese Stark, former attorney in the SEC's Enforcement Division, the ruling in favor of Ripple Labs resides on shaky ground. Former Securities and Exchange Commission official John Reese Stark spoke out against the recent ruling on Ripple's lab case, calling the decision troublesome on multiple fronts. Stark broke down Judge Torres' decision from July 13th by examining the grounds upon which he ruled in favor of Ripple in a lawsuit brought back by the SEC back in 2020, alleging that the company's XRP token was a security. Judge Torres' verdict states that the XRP token was a security when sold to institutional investors, and this is very important, right? Because it was a security when it was sold to institutional investors directly from Ripple. But being sold on the exchange markets, it is not a security. You can't call something a security that's being sold on the secondary market. And this is where the SEC loses its case. It loses everything. Okay? All right, so let's see here. But that it was a security in programmatic sales and other types of sales, such as token distribution to employees. Ripple also faces a penalty for the alleged violation, as well as a rescission for institutional investors whose sales reportedly involves $720 million. In the decision, Judge Torres argues that institutional investors reasonably expected that Ripple would use the capital it received from its sales to improve the XRP ecosystem and thereby increase the price of XRP, while the investors who use exchanges to buy XRP tokens could not reasonably expect the same. And I agree, because the whole Howey test was it's ancient and outdated, and it's centered around oranges. Okay, that's where the Howey test came about. It came about of a ruling case around oranges. So you have to understand that, that you can't call something a security that's being sold on a secondary market. That's where the SEC. So this former SEC official, I mean, he's whatever, For Stark, the decision establishes a class of quasi-securities that discriminates based on the sophistication of the investor buying the token. Right? So this is what he says. The Ripple decision holds that the same exact token can be a security sometimes, but not a security other times. Exactly, because you can't call anything that's being sold on the secondary market a security. Like, what the hell did you not understand? And the more ignorance and willful blindness by retail investors, then the less protection the retail investors will receive, and the less disclosure about the token, then the less liability for the token issuer. This just can't be right. Now, it just seems that the establishment does not want you to have this coin and this token, okay? No matter what it is, no matter what happens, no matter what they do, what comes about, they just don't want you to have this token. Everything is centered around you having this token, and they want to use the language as protecting investors, protecting retail investors, etc. When really they're just harming it. They don't want you to have it because they know that all the banks all over the world are using the XRP to build their CBDCs on top of, and the on-demand, the ODL, which stands for on-demand liquidity. Okay, they don't want you to have that because it's going to make a lot of people rich. Us, the peasants, going to make us rich. It's going to make us generational wealth, and they don't want you to have that. Okay, so that's why they are fighting this tooth and nail. Right? Because if I sell you some oranges and you sell oranges to somebody else, then how the hell could that be a security? That is what the basis of the Howey test is about. Stark also notes that his argument seems contrary to investors' protection principles, which state that an investor's level of protection should not be affected by whether they read materials related to the purchase of an asset. Securities laws were specifically designed to protect individual investors based on the idea that they can't fend for themselves. The Ripple decision turns this notion on its head, Stark noted. And so it's crazy how like I said, that they're upset about this. They do not like this decision. They're very pissed off about this. So in Stark's view, who served as an attorney for over 18 years in the SEC's Enforcement Division, the decision resides on shaky ground, is likely and right for appeal, will likely result in reversal. Bullshit. I call bullshit. Because for the simple fact that it's going to take 2 to 3 years for it to be appealed, first and foremost, and then second most, like it's going to be once this judge the judge already decide. And you have the Coinbase case, which is also they're being accused of selling securities, i.e. XRP, and you just lost this case, and so the judge in the Coinbase case, he just halted. He was supposed to make a decision 3 days ago, and he halted because Judge Torres made this decision. It's going to fall back down in line. The SEC is going to keep getting their ass kicked, and keep losing because Gary the Grinch Gensler doesn't fucking understand. Okay, Judge Torres' ruling was received as a victory by the crypto community and Ripple, and rightfully so. The company's CEO Brad Garlinghouse said in a recent interview that the SEC might face a prolonged process before having a chance to appeal the decision. In addition, Garlinghouse called the institutional sale decision the smallest piece of the lawsuit and said that an appeal by the SEC against the retail sale ruling would only bolster Torres' ruling. And I agree. Because other judges are not going to want to take down a prior judge's ruling. Okay, they're going to uphold a ruling. They're not going to want to take it down. They're not going to want to try to interject or intervene or reverse or whatnot. Because it's clear that it's not a damn security. All right, it's clear as day that it's not a damn security. What Ripple's partial XRP means for other crypto firms fighting the SEC. So it's a win for everybody. It's a win-win for everybody. Everybody's going to win. U.S. court ruling partly in Ripple's favor may argue well with other cryptocurrency firms fighting litigation from the Securities and Exchange Commission. If the decision survives potential appeal, this year the SEC has come after exchange platforms such as Coinbase, Binance, and Bittrex for operating what it says unregistered trading platforms that list what agencies deem unregistered securities, according to including Cardano, Solana, Polygon, Filecoin. Following Thursday's ruling, the U.S. District Court of New York that certain sales and distributions of XRP tokens by Ripple and its executives were not investment contracts. Those other defendants may have a new arrow in their quiver. I agree, because now you have a precedent. And once precedent's been set, then you have a blueprint to follow. And the other people, they're going to follow it. And they will follow it. So, let's see here. This is significant opinion that has the potential to change the landscape of the SEC's enforcement efforts, or the success of those efforts, said Teresa Gooden-Gillen, a former attorney with the SEC Office of the General Counsel. Now you have one former SEC attorney saying that, okay, this shit is big. This is going to change everything down the line, and it's not going to be, appealed, etc. Then you have a hating-ass former SEC attorney that's coming back saying, oh, this is a travesty. This can't be this and that. They're going to appeal. It's on shaky ground. It's a this and that, etc. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about. We see what's going on. Okay, we understand. We see what's going on. Why are you steady trying to pull the wool over our eyes? Right? Crazy. It's crazy. Next up, we got crypto. Can crypto match the internet and hit 5 billion users? Because what you guys will understand is that we're still early. Even though Bitcoin is doing what it's doing, we're still early. Still early. Crypto is adding new users at a pace similar to the internet's 1990s growth, that it can fuel stunning forecasts for what's ahead for digital assets. So this is crypto versus the internet, right? Internet's in the green and the crypto's in the blue. And as you can see, it's the same projection. So if you are early, if you are investing now, you will have generational wealth if you invest in the right coins. The first coin that has regulation clarity, XRP. Second one, XLM. XLM and XRP go hand in hand. Those are two coins that you might want to have, might want to do your own research on. All right. The internet went from basically no users in 1990 to 5 billion now. So if crypto is going to be projected just like the internet, just to imagine what those prices are going to be of these coins that you're investing in right now that are 5 cents, 13 cents, under a penny, 1.5 cents, 2.5 cents, 10 cents, fuck it, even $3. Right? So just think about that. Just think about where you at. When I say that you're early, you are early. The internet says, before you get too excited, though, I argue that that's too optimistic. The internet is too broad for comparison. It's used for everything in our lives. And crypto is going to follow that same path. Why? Because it's Web3. It's blockchain. It's decentralized. It's the whole entire internet is moving to Web3. So how can he say that? I have no idea. Maybe he's not been paying attention. Crypto has many use cases, and there is hope for Web3. Now there's hope for Web3. There's more than hope for Web3. You have companies like IBM, Nike, Adidas. Everybody's moving to the metaverse. Everybody's moving to Web3. Hell, I work for a telecommunications company, and the products that we are coming up for with AR and VR and Web3 blow your damn mind. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. But for the average consumer, crypto is either a speculative investment or means of transfer of value. I can agree with that a little bit. So we have here SEC could be waiting years to file appeal for Ripple case, like I mentioned earlier. At least minimum 2 to 3 years. And speaking of that, we're gonna go ahead and go to a video of Mr. Garlinghouse. Might as well go ahead and go to the video of Brad Garlinghouse and what he said about the case. All right, so he said something about the case, and he mentioned a few things and a few points. So we're gonna go ahead and listen to what he has to say.
When you sold this,
so we're gonna go ahead and check him out real quick, and I will send him back over there,
because it seems as though the judge was saying, when you sold this token XRP to institutions with paperwork that amounted essentially to a business plan, then it is a security. Although you could see it as a commodity, a way to play in the currency of your own blockchain, native blockchain, how do you react?
Now, I want y'all to listen to what he's saying exactly, right? It's a little bit, it's like 8 minutes long, so just listen.
Chris Larson, the co-founder of Ripple, they brought a lawsuit against me, and they brought a lawsuit against Ripple. They lost the lawsuit against Chris Larson. They lost the lawsuit against me personally. And Ripple mostly won the case that they brought against Ripple. And so there's one narrow piece, and the SEC, in my judgment, and as certainly many are reacting, the SEC clearly lost as a matter of law. And the judge wrote, XRP is not a security as a kind of intrinsic thing. In certain circumstances, which is kind of a narrow definition around institutional sales, it could be a security. So, look, the market reacted in a very positive way. Certainly, Team Ripple is very happy with the decision, and Coinbase is up 25% yesterday. The value of XRP is up somewhere between 50 and 80%. So, the market has reacted as a clear win both for Ripple and for the industry.
All right. So, what is going to be the result then for you as a result of that piece of the decision, Brad, and what is going to be the result for Ripple as regards to that piece of the decision from the judge who ruled that it is a security when looking at the institutional sales?
So the institutional sales ends up being, from the broad perspective, I don't want to say inconsequential, but it's the smallest piece. And I think in some ways it's ironic. The mission statement of the United States Securities and Exchange Commission is to protect investors. They went after Ripple, suggesting that, all kinds of things, everything we were doing was selling an unregistered security. And the judge really very clearly said, sales through exchanges, not a security. When it's used for compensation, not a security. When it's used for incentives around the overall XRP ecosystem, not a security. So, we have already moved a lot of our activity, and frankly, 95% of our customers are non-US. So a lot of our activity has been outside the US jurisdiction because that's where our customer demand is. But I think that's where the US is losing. And I think what the SEC has been trying to do is to put power and politics over what is really just sound policy and providing clear rules of the road such that entrepreneurs and investors can participate in this amazing new market around crypto and blockchain technologies.
Well, you raise an important point there about the fact that this is a globally connected crypto community, Brad. And while there was, given how all this was playing out, a delisting of XRP on platforms in the U.S., we saw a delisting, in markets like Canada as well. Can you just walk us through? We're hearing about relistings of XRP over the last 24 hours, but what the conversations with platforms are like for you right now?
Look, we actually, those are decisions made by the exchanges. But I mean, John, first of all, good to see you again. And it's when the lawsuit was first filed, a lot of the exchanges in the United States just said, look, we're going to wait and see what happens. And it's really because of the confusion that the SEC, in my judgment, had sowed in the market. They were increasing confusion in the market. And even as part of this lawsuit, the discovery process we saw is that they knew there was confusion, and they actually did things that they knew would increase confusion. And the only reason to do that is because this confusion actually masquerades as power to the SEC. But John, as you pointed out, just in the last 24 hours, all of the major U.S. exchanges, whether it's Bitstamp, Gemini, Kraken, Coinbase, have either relisted or publicly announced their intent to list XRP because there now is clarity. The clarity is XRP is not a security as judged by the United States. Of course, ironically, no other country on the planet thought that XRP was a security, but it's nice to have that clarity now for the market here in the United States.
So this is still a legal process playing out. I think people watching, an SEC appeal process, what that looks like. What does it mean for your company in your business in the interim?
Look, as a matter of law, the law of the land right now is not a security. There is an opportunity for the SEC to file an appeal, which would take years. And frankly, we're very optimistic. If they were to file an appeal, we think that only further solidifies the decision this judge made. Because, look, as a matter of law, as a matter of the facts, and really as a matter of looking back in the history here, for the SEC, really it's overreach to suggest, as the chair has said many times, that basically everything in the crypto space is a security. Well, we now have a judge very clearly saying that is just not true, and very clearly saying XRP is not a security on exchanges and all these different use cases, which I think helps the whole industry for sure. So this is a win for Ripple. It's also a win for the entire crypto industry. And I think that's why you saw the crypto industry react so positively over the last 24 hours.
And I agree with what he's saying.
What is the most important use case, you think, Brad, for
1,000%
XRP? And do you feel limited at all in, publicizing use cases you're excited about, lest it be considered
that
security,
footnote right there, that's an important part. 95% of Ripple's customers are outside the U.S. That was big right there. That's what I kept trying to tell everybody. The SEC case
was resolved, or the decision came out yesterday, I would have said yes. I was worried about, evangelizing different use cases. I'm no longer worried because now there's clear rules of the road. The judge has made a determination, and that's the law of the land. Now, to the first part of your question, look, Ripple has really built our primary business. Our primary go-to-market has been around solving this cross-border payments problem. Today, and as I've certainly talked with John Ehrlichman about over the past, sending money overseas, even from the U.S. to Canada, can be slow, it's expensive, and it really has not kept up with modern technologies. Ripple is using XRP as part of our technology stack to dramatically increase the speed and dramatically reduce the cost of managing cross-border payments. That's how Ripple is using. There's interesting things going on in the real estate market around using blockchain technologies to reduce the friction of any financial transaction. These are the use cases. There's going to be a lot of them. I really feel like it's the earliest days of the internet where you couldn't even predict how these technologies would impact various businesses and various financial transactions.
And Brad, maybe talk to us about personally for you over this last day. You mentioned, the lawsuit specifically with you. And you also mentioned the industry itself, or a victory for the industry. Have you been talking with your industry peers over the last 24 hours?
Look, I have heard from literally hundreds of people throughout the industry at all levels, and there's just broad enthusiasm and excitement that this is the first time the SEC has lost a crypto case. It's because I think the SEC's been a bully, and they've gone after weak players who couldn't mount a proper defense. Ripple had the fortitude, the courage to kind of go and frankly, me individually and Chris Larson individually to fight this fight. And I think many people in the industry are responding positively because the industry needed someone to fight, because the SEC was really just using regulation through enforcement as their primary tool. And that's not a good way to build a market. And the SEC still hasn't done the hard work that other countries have done, whether it's the UK or Europe, where they have provided clarity for rules of the road so that investors and entrepreneurs can build. And that's what has made, American technology innovation so profound. Clear rules of the road. And even now the SEC is more focused on bringing lawsuits as opposed to doing the work. I will just conclude that thought with, the good news is you're finally seeing in Congress, you saw a number of elected officials yesterday tweeting about the Ripple case and really calling on on Congress to pass laws so that there is the clarity that the SEC knows does not exist.
All right, now we have, now I want you to listen to exactly what he said 5 years ago, okay? And this is exactly why they came after
Ripple could be the next Bitcoin.
Came after him in XRP.
Well, I think if we're
so you listen to what he has to say 5 years ago, all right, and see how that came to fruition now.
Is that a compliment that Ripple could be the next Bitcoin?
Well, I think if we're solving a real problem and it's at scale, then I think it's a compliment. I think the most important thing that is going on in crypto is understanding what is real and what is just hype. Some, I think, may look back on Bitcoin and find that it was the Napster of digital assets. What I mean by that is Napster was the first to digitize music and demonstrate, hey, if you digitize music, you can do a lot of cool things with that. But ultimately, they were circumventing trademark laws, they were circumventing royalty payments, and government stepped in, and Napster was not successful. But Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, they were very successful. I think what you'll find is that maybe the next generation of digital assets ends up solving some of the original problems that Bitcoin set out to solve.
So RippleNet is trying to take on Swift. What's been the traction like? Who's come on board?
Well, it's interesting as you step back and look at this. If you and I decided we were going to send $10,000 to California today, the fastest way for us to do it would be to drive to the airport and fly it there. That's a crazy thing to think about when you're in the age of the internet and we're used to information on demand. When we think about the customers that have come on board, it's because we're solving that real problem. We're changing the nature of a payment taking days to settle to California to seconds. So we now have well over 100 customers ranging from some of the biggest banks in the world to payment providers to the Western Unions and MoneyGrams, Linlan Pay out of China.
How many banks?
It's over 100. I actually don't know the exact number now. Last time we announced it publicly, we said over 100. We'll probably announce the next one when we get to over 200. We're signing up more than a bank a week now.
The thing is, it's not the number of banks. It's the volume
for sure
out there. What kind of volume are you looking at?
Well, we've had one that we could talk publicly about is we have one corridor run by SEB, which is one of the first or second largest bank in Sweden, has done over $1 billion USD equivalent through one corridor. So while on the global macro scale, we're still just getting started. I think we're on mile 1 of a marathon, but we've crossed that starting line. Like, this is real activity in production systems where customers are really benefiting from that. We clearly have a long way to go, and the overall maturity of the digital asset market, I think, is a long way to go. But if we keep going back to let's focus on a real problem and solve a real problem for real customers, I'm really optimistic.
You have several products. We talked about the system, RippleNet. You also have a digital token, which is the XRP. How's the XRP doing? Because we saw it surge 1,300%.
Right. So XRP actually was the best performing digital asset in 2017. It was up, I think, something like 25,000%. The excitement around digital assets is because I think you're solving a real problem. And I think one of the things you saw happen, particularly last December, is there's understandably concern about regulation and what does that mean for digital assets. From the get-go, Ripple has worked with regulators, and we have worked with regulated institutions like banks where there isn't regulatory uncertainty. And so we have found that part of the reason why XRP has performed well is because people realize, hey, wait a minute, back to your question, is XRP the next Bitcoin? If we work with the system to solve this problem, and we can solve that problem at scale, a problem measured in the trillions of dollars, then there's a lot of opportunity to create value in XRP.
But how can there be clarity on regulation when different currencies.
Now pay attention, because I want to show you something after this video right here, okay? I want to show you something that 5 years ago that he told everybody what was going on. And then it's going to make sense why the banks and you know,
a lot of misinformation
IMF sent.
I've kind of jokingly suggested that when people talk about regulatory uncertainty, it's often people because they don't like the regulation. They're not actually regulatory uncertainty. If you think about a XRP transaction from one regulated financial institution, a bank or a payment provider, they're doing what's called a KYC check, which references Know Your Customer. There's a global regulatory framework around KYC. That's at both endpoints of an XRP transaction, into and out of. So I think the regulatory certainty actually is much better than people realize. It's just educating banks, regulators about how it actually works. Now, the volatility point is also a good one. You know, XRP has clearly been volatile, as all digital assets have been. The nature of how an XRP transaction works, though, it's 1,000 times faster than Bitcoin. So the volatility risk you're taking around XRP is only for 3 seconds. So the volatility risk ends up being very, 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 very small because it's so fast.
Now, this is 5 years ago, all right? So y'all remember this 5 years ago. So this would have been what? 2018.
Well, I think any payment provider, you know, we're really trying to solve that cross-border payment transaction. So if you're going, you know, we talked earlier about the US dollar to the Mexican peso. It's one of the corridors we have live with XRP today. You can hold a US dollar, sell that dollar, and buy XRP. In 3 seconds, you can move that XRP to Mexico and then sell the XRP and buy the Mexican peso. Whether you're a bank, a payment provider, eventually even corporates can take advantage of a dramatic decrease in cost and a dramatic increase in speed and how those transactions work.
All right, Brad, we have to leave it there. The first mile in a marathon. Brad Gullinghouse, CEO of Ripple.
Is because it seems as though the judge was saying,
look at this right here.
When you sold this token XRP to institutions with paperwork.
Let me make it bigger for y'all. Put it to the whole screen. Now, as you can see right here, what does it say? Ripple provides a hybrid technology that combines ILP and XRP Ledger. XRP Ledger, it does not have a mining proof of work mechanism like Bitcoin and approved consensus between distributed ledgers, only a specific node where transactions are confirmed at a speed that can only also be used for financial transactions. A payment system that connects the ledgers, which can further advance interbank settlements more closely. That is what XRP is, ladies and gentlemen. That is what you hold. That is why they are coming after your XRP and why they're coming after your bags, okay? Now, more Twitter news. Remember, institutional FOMO flooding into XRP is nearer than you naturally suspect. It will happen unexpectedly and all of a sudden. Why is this tweet so true? It's because the case says that sales to institutions are securities. That means that the banks and institutions that are going to have XRP, or that want to own crypto and all the investment firms like BlackRock, etc., that want to get into crypto, that means that they have to get all their crypto on the open market, right? On the exchanges, the same exchanges that me and you get ours from. Pump the price up. That means they can't get it at a discount. They can't get anything. That is also why I say that there's going to be another crash. There's going to be another crash because those institutions want crypto. They're not going to pay the prices that crypto are now. They're going to crash it down again. So keep that in mind. All right? Keep that in mind. Now, breaking. SEC, U.S. lawmakers call on Congress to pass crypto law following SEC Ripple ruling on XRP. More and more news is coming out with the XRP. More and more people are institutions and everything is starting to throw their money into XRP. Right? Got over 120 financial institutions using XRP for payment services. 120. Probably nothing. Probably nothing. Now, we'll go ahead and move on
though the judge was
to what
saying,
everybody's been waiting
when you
for,
sold this,
and those that stuck
token
around.
XRP to
You know, this long, this is
institutions
what we're
with
here for, the
paperwork
charting.
that,
You've been
amounted
wanting the
essentially to
charting,
a
so
business
here it
plan,
is, here we
then
go.
it is a security.
So this is Luna C right
Although
here. As you can
could
see, we
that
had
as a
the
commodity,
Fibonacci
going to play
retracement
in the
right here.
currency
We
of
had,
your,
these are my
blockchain,
buy
data
levels
blockchain.
right here. I'm not
How
buying
do you
Luna C
react?
till it comes back down to this level. It actually
Look,
did
let me
here
back up for a second.
on
The SEC
today
brought
sometime.
two
It came
lawsuits.
to
They
that
brought
buy
a lawsuit
level
against Chris
of
Larson, the
4
co-founder
zeros
of
and
Fraud
9156. But as you can see,
and they
it's
brought
been
a
running
lawsuit
up, man. It's,
against
you know, it's because of the
lost
news of the
lawsuit against
repeg
Chris Larson.
to
They
a
lost
dollar,
lawsuit against him
and
personally.
it
And
has
Ripple
created a
mostly
lot
brought
of
the case,
excitement and
they brought
enthusiasm
against
through the
Ripple.
community.
So there's
The validators are starting to burn. You have one validator from Classic Crypto who also has a YouTube channel called Classic Crypto, and shout out to him. And he also he runs a validator. He is burning 100% of his rewards, which means that he's not making any profit at all. So you have people like him. You have exchanges and everything that are in talks with the team to add Luna back on the exchanges and to institute the burn mechanism. Right, so Luna needs to burn 1 billion Luna C in order for it to get to $1, repeg to $1, and that validator, that Classic Crypto, I think he burns like 12 million, 12 million a year or something like that, Luna C or something like that through his validator. But there's another validator that burns, I think, like 12 million I don't forget what it was, like 2 million a day, 1 million a day, or something like that. But you got a lot of validators that are trying to institute the burn mechanism. But you got a lot of people that are trying to get those validators to burn 100% of their commissions. And I mean, you know, I can understand why they wouldn't, but I can also understand why they would too. As well, it would be a big benefit to the community, and it would help a ton to get the Luna repegging back to $1, right? So this is Luna C, and as you can see, these are the buyers. You have a buy area right here at 4091. You have another buy at this retracement at 40903, and the golden pocket right here at 4088973. All right, so that's what it is. It's coming up in close to this ceiling right here, and I suspect it's going to hit this ceiling and fall back down within these buy targets. Okay, so I'll just wait. RSI is oversold. It's over 50s at 64.7. And it is not looking good in MACD as well. You know, so you may have some more, may have it come up more towards here before it falls off. It may not. This is the 4-hour chart. Take an hour chart, see what's going on. And as you can see on the hour chart, it's you know, it's above the 200. All of them, all the estimates are above the 200 SMA. So it may possibly chop right here on this hour chart and fall down here in the buy areas and then take off. We shall see, but this RSI needs to come down here below 50, below 40 actually before you see that happen. MACD is showing right here, it's trending downwards as you can see. All right, so let's look at that daily. You have the daily right here, and as you can see on that daily, boom, it hit the price target. It did hit that price target and it went down, right? So just keep that in mind. You know, when in doubt, zoom out. And when you're trying to find a move, zoom in. Okay, just remember those two things. All right. When in doubt, zoom out. And when you're trying to find which way it's going to move, either up and down, then you zoom in. All right. So this is this wasn't one of the coins that I was going to cover, but you know, it was already on there, so we just went ahead and did it anyway. So one of the coins that I did want to cover was this right here, Engine, ENG. As you can see, it's getting close to breaking that downward trend line, right? And if you get that downward trend line right now, you can, if you were to place this trade here right now, don't want that. It's not what I'm looking for. We need the other one. Where are you at? Price range. There you are. So this is the bottom right here. And if you were to place that trade here and it breaks through that downward trend line right there and goes back up right there, that's 40 towards that support, the ceiling right there, because that is what it's going to do. And as you can see, the 21 is crossing that 50, getting ready to pull that price action up with it, right? And if you can see right here, with this support right here, you had 1, 2, right? And so it was heavy support. 23 cents has been holding the support for Engine. So you had that bounce and it went back up to retest this downward trend line right here, right? So you got 1, 2, you know, and it's not going to call this a 3, but you got 2 touches on that downward trend line. So it's coming back up to retest that trend line right here. And if it breaks through, then you're going to see 46 cents, 44 cents Engine Coin. Like I said, you can make 45% profits if you pull the trigger and buy now. Engine Coin is on Coinbase, I think. You think you can get that on Coinbase, but I know for sure you can get that on Crypto.com. But if you were to pull the trigger down, like I said, 44%. So Engine Coin was one coin we wanted to look at. I wanted to get to you guys. The other one was VeChain. And here we have VeChain right here. As you can see, VeChain has broken that downward trend line right here. And it is still a good buy. And as you can see, that 21 has crossed that 50 and it's getting ready to pull that 200 now. If it crosses that 200, you are going to see gains of up to 71%, right? Even if it comes down here and stops here at this resistance line right there, you'll see gains of 38%. So 38% gains and possibly 70% gains, right? Right? So how do you find out how far it's going to run? Right? I can't give away my secret, but so just understand that you have those 2 opportunities to make some money with VeChain. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that you guys see VeChain. And you see the downward trend line, and this is the daily, right? So this is the daily. Let's go into the smaller time frame so we can see what's going on here. This is the 4-hour chart. Spread that out like that, get it out there like that. And as you can see in that 4-hour chart, just like I said, that 21 is crossing that 50. It already crossed right here. You had a golden cross in the 50 and 21. So that price action, when that golden cross happened right there, that price action went up and it broke that downward trend line, right? Came back down, that downward trend line became a support. Now that this trend line is support, it bounced off, it teeter-tottered just a tad bit over this trend line, and then it came back up. Now we need a higher high. We need a higher high than 2 cents. You know, if it puts in a higher high than 2 cents sometime tomorrow, then you can see those gains that I was telling you about is 38%, 40% gains. All right. So look at the hour chart. See exactly in the movement in the sniper time frame. So in the sniper time frame, we have the same thing here. You have all of the SMAs crossing the 200. So you will see price action go up. Why? Because it's the same thing right here. Boom. What did you see right here? You had that cross right there. And what percentage gains did you see? If you would have bought right here, right at that cross, and sold right here at that high, you would have made 34% gains. Right? Even if you would have sold right here, would have hit that trend line right here, you would have made 33% gains. Just 1% difference. But if you would have held up to right here and sold right here, boom, 44% gains. Right? How long did it take to make those gains? Right? So right here, if you would have bought right here on Tuesday, June 20th, and you would have took let's see, Saturday, July 1st, you would have made 44%. Sometimes patience pays off, but you have to understand what you're looking at and how to trade and when to exit a trade, when to enter a trade, right? So, like I said, right here you have the the cross. You have it getting ready to cross again, and what can you get? 38% gains. What did I say? 38% gains to the next ceiling right here, right? We don't want to move that, so we're gonna come. Let's go this way. Okay, so right here is boom, 38% again. Bam, just like I said, right? Right? Okay, because why? Right here, so right here was what? 45%. Now, even if you get that same little move right there, again, like I said, that same move, the measured move, 38%. Okay? Let's make some money, y'all. Let's make some money. Let's watch this market. Trade the markets. Trade exactly what it says to do. Okay? Don't speculate. Don't guess. Just look at the charts and see exactly what the charts are telling you to do. Okay? So this is VeChain. Next up, we have Hbar. Right? Hedera hash graph. And when XRP runs, this one runs along with it. So where's my Hbar? Hbar, where art thou? Where art thou? There thou go. So this is the daily, and as you can see, Hbar is still under here, so it's still in accumulation mode, right? You still a good buy, still in accumulation mode. Right now it is 5 cents, And it is getting ready to come back up here and test that trend line. You got that same little action right there. 21 crossing the 200, 50 crossing, which is bringing the 50 with it, bringing the 80, bringing the 100, and you have the 200 right there. The more separation that these 4 SMAs get from the 200, the bigger the gains, the bigger the profits. Okay, so keep that in mind. The more bullish that you're going to be. So as you can see, you got 1 touch, 2 touch, right, of the trend line, right? Third time's charm. So you're getting ready to come up here to hit that trend line. Is it a good buy still? Yes, it is. Even though it ran up from what? From 4 cents? Really it ran up from 4 cents to 5 cents, just a penny. Came up here, touched that resistance line, fell back down. So, and as you can see on this hour chart, it's getting ready to come back down a little bit too within the next hour. Let's go look at the 4-hour chart, see what it looks like. It's a 4-hour chart. As you can see a little bit more better, a little bit more clear. 4-hour chart, you got that same thing, golden cross, the golden cross right here. I would be buying Hbar right now. I would be buying Hbar, and I will be waiting a couple of days and seeing exactly what my percentage and what my profit is going to be. Because again, I would buy it right now. You have 68% chance it's going to break to the upside. A 68% chance, right? I'll take that. So if I buy Hbar right now and I sell again up right here at this price ceiling, I'll take that. I'll scalp that 6%. But chances are it's going to break through this trend line. If it breaks through this trend line, it's going to break through this ceiling as well. And we'll see where it goes. So if it breaks through that ceiling, then you're looking at 7 cents, 7 cents Hbar. Looking at 6 cents, 7 cents Hbar. All right, so scalping, that's Hbar right there. Like I said, getting ready to break that downward trend line. The next one that we had up was chain link. Where's my link at? Where you at, link? Where are you at? There you are. And as you can see, chain link. Same thing. Coming back up, touching that trend line right there. Now you got a 68% chance it's going to break to the upside right here, right? Because why? You have the downward trend line right here, the little downward mini trend line. You got a cross right here. You had the golden cross back here, and look at the price action start trending up, and you had to run up. Now it's going to break this this resistance of $6.68, and it's going to come back up here and test this trend line. Somewhere around $7.28, $7.25, somewhere around there. And when it does, it's more than likely going to break through. When it does break through, you won't see any resistance to $8.82, right? So how much profit would this trade net you right here if you were to buy it right now? Buy it right now, come back up, boom, that's 33% profit. 33% profit, right? 33% profit on that trade right there. If you were to place that trade right there, and it was to do exactly what I said it was going to do. Okay, let's look at the daily. You got the daily right there, and as you can see, it fell up under the support line that you need, and got the cross now. You're just getting ready to pull it. Now we need this right here for this 21 crosses, this 200 on the daily, and it's going to bring that 50 with it, and you're going to see an explosion in price. You're going to see that $8.82 guaranteed if that happens. You need the volume, and you need the price action. You need the volume and the 21 to come. You need the RSI to fall back down some more, which is an oversold. It's 50-60 to fall by 30-something or 20-something points, and we got action. Right? That can happen in a couple of days. That can happen by Tuesday, Wednesday. The RSI fall down right there, and then we get action. And we get a boom, a run up. Right?
Back up for a
so that's
second.
chain
The
link.
SEC brought 3 lawsuits. They brought a lawsuit against Chris Larson, the co-founder of Ripple. They brought a lawsuit against me. And they brought a lawsuit against Ripple.
Mana, Decentraland Mana.
They lost the lawsuit against Chris Larson. They lost the lawsuit against me personally. And Ripple mostly won the case that they brought against
Decentraland Mana.
There's one narrow piece, and the SEC, in my judgment, and as certainly many are reacting, the SEC clearly lost as a matter of law. And
so as you can see, Mana,
XRP is not.
Mana's getting ready to explode. You got one touch. Look at this.
In certain circumstances, which is kind of a narrow definition around institutional sales, it
right?
could be a
And now
security.
this 21,
Look,
it
the
fell
market
down
reacted
right
in
now.
a
This would have
very
been the
positive
time to
way.
buy right here when it was
Certainly
30
Team Ripple's
cents.
very happy with the
You
decision.
know, because those
And,
people
you know,
that
Coinbase
bought
is
at
up
30 cents, they're
25%
already in
yesterday.
profit now,
The
but it's
value
still a
of
good buy
XRP
right
is
now.
up somewhere between
Because it's
50
coming
and
back up to
80%.
test this
So
trend line right here. That
the
21
market
is
has
getting ready to cross
reacted
that
as is
50
a
and bring that
clear
price
win
action back
both
up.
for
As you can
Ripple
see, it's
and for the
already green.
industry.
It's
All
already
right,
green.
so what is going to be the result then for you as a result of that piece of the decision, Brad? And what is going to be the result for Ripple as regards to that piece of the decision?
The RSI
from the
probably
judge,
gonna come up and touch
who
one more
ruled
time,
that
so
it's
you probably get a run up
security
past this
when
41
looking at the
cents
institutional
and
sales.
come towards this 43 cents, and then before it
So the
falls back
institutional
down
sales ends
some.
up being, you know, from
I have
the
to do some
broad
buy
perspective,
areas. In this,
I don't want to say
it looks like
inconsequential,
it's
but
in
it's
some of the
the
buy areas
smallest
right now
piece.
for
And
the
I think
daily.
in some ways,
Let's
it's
look at the
ironic.
4-hour
You know,
chart.
The mission
So
statement
it's in the
of
buy
United
area right
States
now.
Securities Exchange
That's
Commission
actually in the
is
golden
to
pocket,
protect
and you can see that on that
investors.
4-hour chart
Even
right
after
there.
Ripple
On the 4-hour
suggesting
chart,
that,
you
all
actually
kinds of
got
things,
that.
everything we were doing was
Where was
selling
the cross
unregistered security, and the judge really very clearly
Cross
said,
right here.
you know, sales through exchanges,
You got
not
the
a
cross
security.
right here, and it's starting to
when it's used for
separate. So it's going to
compensation,
run
not
up,
a security.
and
When it's
test that
used for
trend line again.
incentives
Okay.
around the overall
So
XRP
and then
ecosystem.
after it does,
not a
you won't see
security.
any resistance
So,
till.
you know, we have already moved a
you won't
lot
see
of
any
our
resistance
activity,
till
and frankly,
54
95% of our customers are
close to it.
non-US. So a lot of our activity has been outside the
Right,
U.S.
so if it
jurisdiction.
breaks this, now if you
because
buy
that's
it
where
right here and it
customer
runs up
demand
to
is. But I think
54 cents,
that's where the U.S. is losing. And I think what the SEC has
That
been trying to
is-
do is to put power and politics over what is really just sound policy and providing clear rules
That
of the road
is
such that
32%
entrepreneurs and investors
profit.
can participate in this
32%
amazing
gains.
new market around crypto and blockchain technologies.
so Chainlink was one of them.
Well,
We
you
covered
raised an
Chainlink, we
important
covered
point there
Engine,
about the
ENG,
fact that this
we
is
covered
a
Mana,
globally
Decentraland Mana,
connected,
we covered
crypto
Hbar.
community, Brad. And while
Right.
there was, given how all this was playing out, a delisting of XRP on
Tezos.
platforms in the U.S., we saw a delisting.
Tezos. Where you at, Tezos? All right, Tezos right here. So we on Tezos now. And as you can see, this is the 4-hour chart. Tezos is coming in the buy zone, but we're gonna go look at that daily real quick. Then we'll come back down, start work our way back. And as you can see, on Tezos, it's breaking that daily. On that daily, it's coming back up to test that trend line. You have that 21 crossing that 50 right now, and it's starting to come back up. Right? So let's look at that 4-hour chart. On that 4-hour chart, you already got the golden cross. You already got everything that happened that needs to happen, right? You got a 68% chance it's going to break to the upside, and more than likely it's coming down and touching the buy areas, right? So this was a buy area entry point. I would have bought here, I would have bought here, and I would have bought here. Expect getting ready for a run up. Okay, those are the 3 times I would have DCA'd in, right? Because those were the 3 points that it could you could have saw a reversal and it break through the trend line. That's why I would have DCA'd there. Now, if that does indeed happen, you will see resistance at major resistance at 95 cents. Okay, 95 cents. And if it breaks through that 95 cents, you won't see resistance until $1.19. Anything of significant resistance anyway. Let's look at this hour chart, see exactly where it's going to go, and we can get an idea of what's going on. And while I'm doing this, y'all put in the chat, let me know if you have any questions or any coins or anything. So here we go. It's the hour chart. And specifically on the hour chart, you can see everything hit all the buy zones. And you can see the golden cross. You can see the 21, 80, and the 100 crossing everything like it's supposed to cross. RSI is looking good. So actually, it's not looking too good. You got a down RSI is on a downward trend. Yeah, RSI is on a downward trend line. So yeah, it's getting ready. Yeah, you're gonna get ready. It's gonna break. It's gonna break through here because the RSI was just at 36, and it's getting ready to. It's testing. It's getting ready to bust through that again. So yeah, you're gonna see a move out of Tezos soon in the next couple of days. You shall see a move out of Tezos in the next couple of days. Let's look at Atom. Last one will be Atom. All right, and Cosmos, Atom. As you can see, same thing. It broke that trend line, came up, and boom. This is what I mean by when I say retesting the trend line and breaking the trend line. Okay, you saw right here, same thing. Rounded bottom pays the bills, and you saw the price run up. Now that percentage, this was a good trade right here. This was a good trade that traders took. They scalped that for 12%. 12% on 1,000, 10,000, or however much, that's a good trade. And they're probably still in that trade, even though it came down. Why? Because correction is healthy. And this, anytime you see this, it's a 68% chance it breaks to the upside. So, watch it break to the upside. And I had one more. I thought it was it Crow? Yeah, CRO. And on this same thing with Crow, CRO, Crypto.com's coin. It's getting ready to break its downward trend line. Look at it on the daily. As you can see on the daily, it's the same thing. Rounded bottom, getting ready to come back up. Price action is going. It's getting ready to test back that downward trend line. On that 4-hour chart, you see the same thing. The same exact thing. You have that golden cross, and you see the price action getting ready to come up. So CRO is getting ready to test this downward trend line, and once it does break that trend line, you probably won't see any resistance, major resistance, until 7 cents. Which, I mean, at 0.071, and then again, maybe a little bit higher, 0.074, and then again here at 0.085. So that's the thing. You won't see any of that stuff like that. So this is CRO, CRO. And as you can see, that RSI is coming. So that RSI, it may come back down. It may chop a little bit. But it's still a good buy. And, it's one of the buys that you might have to wait a few days, maybe a week or two. But, yeah, it's something that I would add to my portfolio and be waiting for. Because it's a good buy. It's a damn good buy. It's a damn good buy. So any coins y'all want me to look at? I'll be right back while I have this in the music playing. Y'all let me know what coins y'all want in the chat, and we'll pull them up and look at whatever coins y'all want to look at. I'll be right back, y'all. Give me like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. 2 or 3 minutes. Alright, so I'm back, y'all. So I hope y'all enjoyed the show. And I hope that everything that you guys that we covered in today's show, that you understand, and you understand what you hold when it comes to XRP. That you actually understand that all that shit that was going on the last 2 years has really been FUD, and that, continue to buy XRP on the dips and everything as such, treat it like Bitcoin. And you want me to look at Galacoin? I just seen the chat, so we'll look at Galacoin real quick before we head out. I'll look at Gala before I head out. But I want you guys to understand that, you know, you have to ignore the FUD. You have to do the research, which we do the research for you guys, or at least enough research for you to go out and do more. Enough for you to make a decision, an educated guess, or not even an educated guess, but an educated decision into what you're buying, into what you're looking for, and what you're looking at. So, you know, it's going to pay off. You know, the stacking of the 2 years for XRP, the ignoring the FUD, you're going to pay off. Okay, you're going to pay off big time. When it comes to some of these other coins, you have a lot of coins that are moving, that haven't moved in a while, that are actually tied to Bitcoin and XRP, and you're going to start seeing those coins move, especially the coins that are tied to XRP. You're going to see them move a whole lot more. You're going to see a whole lot more movement of XRP here in the next couple of weeks, because the institutions are going to be buying from those exchanges, and the banks have to have XRP, and the banks kind of have to have XLM. So those are two coins that you want to have, because the banks kind of have to have both of them. They go hand in hand. All right. So, you know, it's interesting to see how things are going to play out here in the next couple of weeks, and what the price of Ripple and XRP is going to be. I think that it's going to be somewhere around $8 to $10 before it has a correction or reversal, but it could go higher. I mean, it could go as high as $20, etc. But I think $8 to $10 is a good price range that it can come out right out the gate over the next couple of weeks. It will be over $1. It will get back to its all-time highs, and it will surpass that. You have a lot of news coming out. It's over 120 banks that are using Ripple XRP, and now that they have a partial win on the case, especially when it comes to their token and their coin and the sales of their coin on exchanges, then you're going to see a lot more money flow into XRP. Okay, all right. So just keep that in mind, and you know, I'll mention. We'll go ahead and look at Gala real quickly, and I want to talk to you guys real quick about NFTs and the NFT space. So this is a Gala coin right here. This is the let's see. Let's go look at the daily chart. Let's go look at the daily chart. Let's see here. All right, so we got the daily chart right here. It's coming along. That 21 right there is on a death cross, but it's going to let me put it over here. I don't even have it on the screen. I'm sorry.
Because it seems
so it's on a death cross right now, and as you can see, that price actually came down with it. But the RSI is at 49, so it's not bad. It needs to fall some more before you see that price action. It had quite a bit of a run up. You need to go and see where it says this was the bottom here.
Although you could see it as a commodity, a way to play in the currency of your own.
So it's actually below the buy areas and golden pocket area, which is not. This is okay. Which is, you know, it's just a good time to buy
They brought a lawsuit against
and
Chris
accumulate.
Larson, the co-founder
That's
of
what you
Ripple.
want
They
to
brought a
do right
lawsuit
about
against
now.
me, and they brought a lawsuit against Ripple.
Want to accumulate during this time period of Gala. So this is a good, perfect time period to be buying Gala.
And
Okay.
Ripple mostly won the case that they brought against Ripple. And so there's one narrow piece, and the SEC, in my judgment, and as certainly many are reacting, the SEC clearly lost as a matter of law, and the judge wrote, XRP is not a security, as a kind of intrinsic thing.
So, yeah.
In certain circumstances.
So these would have been the buy
narrow
points here if you
definition
if you would have looked at it here on the
it could
28th
be
of
a
January
security. So,
or June
the
or whatever.
market reacted in a very
But
positive
Gala
way.
is
certainly
I
Team
mean,
Ripple's very happy with the decision.
it's testing
And,
that trend line. This is the daily, like I
25%
said.
yesterday.
Let's go look at the 4
the
hours.
value of XRP is up somewhere between 50 and 80%.
4-hour chart here.
The market has reacted as a
As you
clear
can see,
win,
enough
both
see a
for
little bit
Ripple
better on
and
that
for the
4-hour
industry.
chart.
All right, so what is going to be the result
That
then
downward
for
trend
you
line right
as a
there,
result,
you got the-
as a result of
21.
that piece of the decision,
all up
Brad,
there.
and
It's
what
a
is
bunch
going to
of
be the
jumbo
result
stuff.
for
So it's,
Ripple
I mean,
as
the 21
regards
like
to
it's
that
crossing
piece
right
of
there,
the
like the
decision from the
50
judge,
cross right here. Like
who
you got
ruled that it is
a golden
a
cross. So I mean,
security
you could see
when
price
looking at
action
the
come over here, but you need the
institutional
RSI to fall. You need a lot of volume to come
So the
in.
institutional sales ends up
And
being,
what I mean by
from
that,
the broad
to give you an
perspective,
example of that,
I don't want to
you
say
see this?
inconsequential, but it's
You
the,
see
the
how
smallest piece.
you
And
see
I
how
think in some
green
ways
this
it's
shit is
ironic.
right here,
You know,
how
the
that is.
mission statement
Look
of
down
the
here,
United
see all that
States
volume
Securities
that
Exchange
came in.
Commission
That's money flowing into the coin. So you need a bunch of volume along with that cross. But see, that volume came in, right? That volume came in prior to that golden cross. You see what I'm saying? So those are the things you need to look at that right there. Volume coming in prior to the golden cross. You had a small run up right here, then you had that big run up because you had a lot of volume coming in. You had enough volume to make it a group, have the run up, but you had a whole lot more come up. 95% of our customers are RSI. Sometimes that RSI, is an indicator. Sometimes the trading goes against the RSI indicators. So that's why I say you have to trade the charts. You can't just
politics over what is really
just be out here willy-nilly just doing whatever. You actually have to trade the charts. And so that's an example of what I mean by that. So this is Gala though. For anybody that just connected on, this is Gala. So we can go back, as you can see, it's running up, it's in the accumulation phase. So right now is the time over the next couple of weeks, over the next couple of months, you might want to be buying Gala, accumulating it. Because it's not going to, it's not going to run up unless you get some volume coming in. So it's in accumulation mode. That's what Gala's in, accumulation mode. And I'm gonna look at Pepe too one more time, because Pepe was in the buyer, and as you can see, it's doing the same thing. It's crashing because it's gonna follow Bitcoin. If y'all don't know, Pepe, it follows Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin. And as you can see, Bitcoin is dumping, it's going sideways, so that's what's going on. Which leads me to another thing too, because I did not do this earlier in the video, and I want to show you guys this as well, because things are getting ready to change.
Because it seems as though
when Tether prints, Bitcoin runs up, and 50 million Tether have been printed. Okay, here recently. So you know what that means, right? What does that mean? When 50 million Tether printed, what does that mean? What does that mean? 50 million Tether printed, what does that mean? Look at the screen and just look and meditate on what I'm showing you and what I'm saying. When Tether is printed, Bitcoin runs up, right? When Tether is not printed, Bitcoin falls down. So just listen to what I'm saying. You see the screen, you see the USDT market cap, and you see the printing, right? So just keep that in mind. Just understand, I look out for y'all, right?
Is because it seems as though
I got something else to show you guys.
When you sold this
blow your mind.
Token XRP to institutions,
so what does it say right here?
Paperwork that amounted essentially to a business plan, then it is a security.
592,000 Bitcoin has been accumulated at 30K. What's the price of Bitcoin right now?
Well, let me back up for a second.
What is the price of Bitcoin right now? Somebody tell me. The price of Bitcoin is 30,294. And as you can see right here, it's showing you the accumulation. So, getting ready to run. And keep in mind the coins I just gave you earlier, for those that stuck around in the whole broadcast, you know what coins to get. You know what prices to sell. So, thanks for tuning in on the Sunday Night Hangout. This is Crypto Crane. Until next week, we will see you guys. And I was going to talk a little bit about NFTs and everything, but we'll just do that next week, or I might make another video or something. Or you can just join the Patreon, and that way you can get the alpha and you can just see exactly what to buy. I tell you guys exactly what to buy, and the benefit of buying them. It's only $20. You know, all you guys, big ballers out there, y'all making a lot of money watching the videos, watching the trades. Go ahead and spend that $20 and get some NFT alpha and learn how to obtain passive income through NFTs. All right, so until next Sunday or the next video, This is Crypto Crane signing out. Thanks for watching. Share the video with your friends, and let's make some money, baby.